So welcome everybody to Ring B. This is semi-finals day at Lido d'Abruzzo in Roseto, Italy on the Adriatic coast. This is a terrific venue, and this is Caroline Crivellier of France, the #1 seed, making her way to the ring for our first bantamweight semi-final. We've got bantamweights, featherweights, lightweights, middleweights and heavyweights.
Representing Georgia, Anna.
This is Anna Kunjura of Georgia, beat the #4 seed in the last round.
From Hungary, Judge 1 from Wales, Judge 2 from Italy, Judge 3 from Russia, Judge 4 from Scotland, Judge 5 from Bulgaria. Fighting out of the red corner, Crivellier Caroline from France. Across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner, Anna from Georgia.
So this session, it is hot at ringside again. You can't see on your screen, but we're in the open air here. The rings, though, are covered to save the fighters from the sun, obviously, but it creates a kind of greenhouse effect. It is open away to the left-hand side, so the breeze comes in off the sea. It's fantastic. It's an amazing setting for boxing, but it asks a lot of the fighters. Crivellier in the red of France, the #1 seed, silver medalist at the 2019 Women's Senior World Championships, bronze at the 2019 Senior Euros, 23 years old. That might seem odd that this is the European under-22s, but it was scheduled for last year. She qualified for last year and so has been allowed to fight this year. Same for everybody else in that situation. If you're born in 1998 to 2002, you can box in this competition. Crivellier in the southpaw stance, two southpaws here, representing Georgia, Anna Kunjura, who beat Anastasia Lisinska of Ukraine 5-0 in her only previous fight so far. Crivellier was taken very close in hers, split decision against Elizabeta Kotyshkova of Russia 3-2, 5 scores of 29-28. A place in the final on offer here. Both of these two guaranteed bronzes and guaranteed $2,000 US. Kunjura will look to try and get that little bit closer. She'll need to. She doesn't quite have the height and reach of Crivellier. And both of these two at the minute just falling a little bit short. Left hand there from Crivellier. Did make it, did get through. Slightly messy in the minute and 20 seconds that we've had so far. Just up on her toes there, Crivellier. And then looks to come in, but shut down her own space a little bit too quickly. That's the problem that she's got at the moment. As she comes in, Kunjura generally tends to do the same thing. And they meet in the middle without either one of them able to punch effectively. Good example of it there. If anything, Crivellier needs to draw Kunjura in, take half a step back and try and meet her with that jab as she comes in. If they both come forward at the same time as they did there, then, as I say, it's difficult for either one to land anything clean. Crivellier can keep this on the outside. 1-2 there, wide left hand may be scored, and the left hand on the inside there as well, but the left came back from Kunjura. As I say, Crivellier of France, she can box this on the outside because she's got that greater height and reach. She doesn't need to go and meet Kunjura. Nice example there, just a jab to the body and then just pull the feet back out. Kunjura has got to close that distance between the two, because if the fight is on the outside, then she doesn't have that reach. She's at a serious disadvantage. Good combination there from Crivellier, who's just beginning to dominate towards the end of the round. There hasn't been a great deal in this. It's been slightly awkward at times. Referee just having a word there, I think, about either holding around the back of the head or punching around the back of the head. Not sure which one it was. So end of the first round. I said the heat is intense at ringside. You see people just fanning themselves down almost everywhere you look, but we do have a little bit of a breeze coming in off the sea, which when it does waft across is very, very welcome. The standard of boxing here this week has been terrific. And last week as well. We're on day 6 at the moment. What you generally get in the under-22s is fighters who aren't necessarily the #1 pick with their national federations at their given weight. Some of the fighters we'll see are split scoring there, 4 10-9s for Crivellier, 1 for Cunduart. That was a Crivellier round, I felt. But in the main, they're looking to try and take that #1 slot. They're eyeing up that next Olympic cycle. They're stars of the potential stars of the future. That's what you see a lot of at under-22. It's a great bridge between youth boxing and this is senior boxing, but youth boxing and full-blown senior boxing, if you like. Crivellier looking to try and use the 1-2 and just keep this at distance a little bit more. I think maybe that's what the corner had told her. Crivellier, France, the #1 seed in red, throws the combination and then pulls the weight back. If she does this, just circles around Cunduart, keeps it at that distance, doesn't engage on the inside, then she can win this fight. She can win this fight doing exactly this. Almost picked off Cunduart on the way in there. The Georgian has got to try and move ahead, bob, slip, weave, get close inside that reach and then let her hands go. Another jab there from Crivellier, who switches orthodox very briefly. But you see her there just taking her feet back. As Cunduart comes into her, she's just moving her feet back, keeping that gap, maintaining that gap. She didn't do that in the first round particularly. A lot of the time she came forward, Cunduart came forward. As I said, they would meet in the middle. It all got a bit awkward, difficult for either one of them to really land. But Crivellier at the minute is doing the right thing here. And Cunduart just edging forward all the time. Had a bit of success there, the Georgian in blue. Got one through on the inside, definitely. Crivellier just ditches in that southpaw backhand, but she doesn't really shoot straight a lot of the time. Or when she looks to put more power on it anyway, it comes in from wide. That's a nice slick 1-2 there from Crivellier. Straight punch. That was good boxing from the French fighter. Just avoided the wide left hand from Cunduart and countered. Again there, just ever so slightly backing up with the feet when Cunduart comes in. Trying to keep her turning, keep her moving. Turns her onto the ropes there. Nice little right hand on the inside. The referee having another word. She's got to be careful, Crivellier. He had a word with her right at the end of round 1. And too much more, and you might be thinking about taking a point. Now, losing a point in the 3-round fight, that can be, well, it's always extremely difficult, but it can often prove to be fatal. The referee, though, having a word with Cunduart about carrying the head in a little bit low. Final few seconds of round 2. Both just moved in looking for the jab. Nice 1-2 on the inside from Crivellier. You almost got caught in that mid-range there, then realised and just took her feet back. Good combination from the French fighter again. Cunduart had a little bit of success herself in that exchange. Looked like another Crivellier round to me. Probably by a clearer margin than in round 1. Not that Cunduart didn't manage to get through with some punches, but the French fighter just boxed a cleverer fight in that 3 minutes we've just seen there. Didn't engage, didn't look to try and get anything up close, just tried to use those natural advantages. And I think responding to what she must have been told by the corner at the end of round 1. Very experienced, of course, as I outlined at the start. And she gets it across the board there. So a 2-point advantage through 2 rounds with 4 of the 5 judges. The other one's got it level, the Russian judge.
Seconds out.
So Cunduart needs something huge in this final round, or a point deduction for Crivellier.
Round 2.
She needs to win this round first and foremost, the Georgian. She has to make sure she wins this round on all of the cards. Well, on those 4 anyway. And then if a point comes off, it'll go to judge's decision. Judge's decision is when a judge returns a a drawn card, which usually occurs when there has been a point deduction or some 10-8 rounds. More generally when there's been a point deduction. You cannot have a draw, of course, in AIBA boxing, so if you return a drawn verdict, which means that on the balance of the 5 judges you do get a draw, so say you get 2 vote for blue, 2 vote for red, and 1 in the middle is a draw, then that judge will have to just make their mind up who they felt had the better of the fight. And that's the way it'll go. Criveille just managing to turn Kunjuara on the ropes. Using that jab again, nice and effectively. Kunjuara is stuck to her task here, but it's just been difficult for her to get onto the inside. Launches that left hand from a long way out. It'd be good to see her just try and move that head a bit more lateral movement. So her hair has just come out of the hair guard there and is trailing down in front of her eyes. She gestured to the referee that that's a bit of a problem. And he agrees that they need to get that sorted out midway through round 3. It's in the bantamweight division. Semi-finals in Ring B in this afternoon session of bantamweight, featherweight, lightweight, middleweight and heavyweight. Then 10 men's semi-finals to come in the evening. Kunjuara just getting a little bit closer there, just lets go with the left hand. Criveille doesn't need to be rash here in the remainder of round 3 and try and really put a stamp on this. She just needs to keep doing what she's been doing. And the problem with the head guard again there, they haven't done a very effective job of sorting that out. Criveille just trying to pop the jab off the back foot there. She was shifting away to her right. Kunjuara's trying to force it here, which she's got no choice but to do that. Seeds have fallen regularly in this women's half of the draw. Just 7 seeds making it through to the semi-finals out of 20 fighters. 4 in fact top seeds. Criveille being one of them. So it's the final 20 seconds. Nice double jab there from Criveille, then throws the backhand and then just slipped back out of range. Caught in range there. Left hand came in from Kunjuara, who's probably had her best round of the fight here in the 3rd and final round, just trying to put her foot on the gas. I don't think she's done enough to win it, but it's not a bad performance by any stretch from the Georgian fighter. She just found herself up against someone in Criveille who was just that bit better, has a bit more variety. And after a first round in which Criveille at times did play into Kunjuara's hands, since then she's gone about her work well. And she will be going through to the final.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner by unanimous decision In the red corner.
So Crivellier, the #1 seed, goes through, and confirmation of the scores. The 10-8 there from Wales in the final rounds. That's 30 points to 26. Everybody else 30 to 27, apart from Russia there with 29 to 28. Crivellier goes through to the final. She's now guaranteed $4,000 US. Prize money on offer in the European under-22s. $8,000 for gold, $4,000 for silver, and $2,000 apiece for the bronze medalists. So $320,000 on offer in total. It does provide an extra element to what is already and always has been extremely hard-fought competition in any amateur tournament you watch, elite or otherwise. The hunger, the desire is absolutely unquestionable. But these are serious financial rewards that are on offer now too, and that is always going to add something. So on to our second bantamweight semi-final. Giulia Lamagna of Italy, the #3 seed, in action against Anna Budimir-Bekan of Germany, who I saw in the World Youth Championships, got to the last 16 there. A tidy fighter. And actually, in her last fight, met Karolina Rampulska of Poland, who got bronze in that same World Youth and beat her by split decision 4-1. And Rampulska, a good fighter, aggressive, come forward fighter. So that was a good win for Budimir-Bekan.
Into the red corner, please welcome the boxer representing Italy, Lamagna Giulia. Into the blue corner, please welcome the boxer representing Germany, Budimir-Bekan Anna Julia. Referee, Milcazarek Slavomir from Poland. Judge 1 from Georgia. Judge 2 from Lithuania. Judge 3 from Israel. Judge 4 from Wales. Judge 5 from Russia. In the red corner, from Italy, Lamagna Giulia. In the blue corner, from Germany, Budimir-Bekan Anna Julia.
So Lamagna of Italy, the #3 seed, beat Jelena Zekic of Serbia by unanimous decision. 2020 Italian elite champion at seniors, boxed at the 2019 European Championships. Budimir-Bekan, as I say, just 18, got to the last 16 of the World Youths. German youth national champion a couple of years ago.
Round 1.
So here we go, southpaw in Lamagna, orthodox fighter in Budimir-Bekan. Lamagna kind of up on her toes, is taller but also boxes out of a more upright kind of stance. Budimir-Bekan a bit more give in the knees there, has just dropped her height slightly. Just gets caught on the way in there, Budimir-Bekan, and that's, I think, what we're going to see here. Height and reach is in favour of the Italian, as it was in favour of Crivellier of France in our previous fight. Question here is, can Budimir-Bekan be a little bit clever about the way she tries to close that gap than maybe Kunjua was against Crivellier? Just inching forward with the front foot there, Budimir-Bekan shoots out that right hand. Lamagna not doing a great deal so far, just on the borderline of range there, just waiting really for Budimir-Bekan to commit. Just pushes out that southpaw left hand there, Lamagna. There's a kind of casual style to her, really. She does stand up very straight, very tall. When she punches, doesn't really turn into the punch. Throws that right hand off the back foot, shapes with the left. But she's got a nice, easy kind of tread to her, nice, easy movement. Keeps those feet on the move. Budimir-Bekan scores there, definitely, though, with that right hand to the body. And Lamagna there, again, just kind of walks in when she throws those punches. I say she is really upright. Chin comes up in the air a bit. Budimir Bekan is just being made to turn. Lamagna just happy for her to hold centre ring and just keep her turning, keep her moving. Budimir Bekan looking for that right hand. Right hand to the chest, to the midriff. I think body punching could be a good plan here for Budimir Bekan. It's good boxing from Lamagna. Throws that right hand and moves off to a right. 1-2 straight down the middle. Nice left hand to the body there from Lamagna. Guard up there from Lamagna, the 1-2 from Budimir Bekan. Lamagna tries to fire back, weight comes forward. Budimir Bekan just taking her weight out of range. Right to the body there from Budimir Bekan. That's worked for her pretty well so far. I think she's going to have to commit more in the second round, and from here on, Budimir Bekan gets caught there. She throws the left hand on the inside, stayed there a bit too long, and Lamagna picked her off. I think Budimir Bekan's going to have to go for broke a bit in rounds 2 or 3, because I'd imagine she's not won that round. She's got to try and see if she can put Lamagna under a bit of pressure. It looks doable from the kind of language style that Lamagna's got, but I suspect it's harder to do than it looks. Like I said, she does move well. There are things about her that you look at and they do strike you as being some quite obvious technical flaws, one being just how upright she is, with that chin up in the air a lot of the time. So split scoring, and 3 judges have gone for Budimir Bekan in that opening round. I would have gone Lamagna myself. I thought she landed the better shots, quite simply, of the 2 fighters. Budimir Bekan was hunting, looking to get forward. She did have success. There wasn't all that much in it.
Second round.
Lamagna has maybe got to be a little bit busier. I say that kind of style she's got sometimes isn't always a massive hit with judges. She is very much the reactionary kind of fighter rather than the proactive fighter of the 2, that's for sure. Budimir Bekan trying to keep that upper body on the move as she inches forward. Lamagna again just circling around, throws that 1-2. Budimir Bekan comes back and does look to be a bit more aggressive on the front foot there. Just short with a couple of left hands there, Lamagna. She wants to keep it on the outside. That's always her plan, using those feet. Left hand to the body there. A minute into round 2. Split scoring in round 1, remember. 3 judges going for Budimir Bekan, 2 going for Lamagna. Budimir Bekan there out of range. Throws that right to the body. Probably just about scored. Lamagna moving off to a right. Ditches in a decent right hook and does the same thing again there, then a left hand down the middle. She just needs to put her punches together a bit more, I would say, given the way that first round went. Budimir Bekan doing what she did in the first round, but has just raised the tempo a bit. It's a good mature performance, this, from an 18-year-old. Decent right hand, and she drops down to a knee there, Budimir Bekan. That was well delivered. Again, just moving off to the right-hand side, throwing that right hand, that right hook as she goes. She's had good success with that. I don't know why the referee didn't score that a knockdown, to be honest, but in EUBC scoring, it doesn't necessarily make any difference. The judge is looking to interpret dominance. Knockdowns do not necessitate a lost point, as they do in professional boxing almost all of the time. And just working those hands there, Lamagna. As I said, that's a good example of that kind of language style. She looks like she's got more to give that's for sure. Into the final 30 seconds of round 2. Straight right hand there from Budimir Bekkan was a good shot. Lamagna looking to try and put on a decent finish here. Budimir Bekkan with that long, almost kind of telescopic right hand at times. It travels further than I think opponents think. Right hand to the body. She's sticking to her plan here, Budimir Bekkan, and personally, I would say that was a Lamagna round, but given the way the first one went, I think that could be tight again, because it wasn't that different from the opening round. They both kind of raised their tempo, their work rate, but because they both did it, I didn't see too much difference between rounds 1 and rounds 2. Scoring all goes for Lamagna that time, so she's got a 2-point advantage with 2 of the judges there, Lithuania and Israel. Everybody else has got it 19 apiece, Georgia, Wales and Russia, so this one is up for grabs. Although Lamagna has got the advantage, she needs one of those 3 drawn cards, and Budimir Bekkan needs all of them, and that is not impossible. That is not impossible. Lamagna there just walks after her hand. She does that every now and again. As I said, she's really upright, really tall. She throws that kind of 3-punch combination and the feet just go with the fists. She's most effective really when she's pulling her weight onto the back foot and looking to counter with either that left or particularly that right hand, that right hook moving off to her right as she throws it. Again there, just walks in on Budimir Bekkan against a more experienced opponent. Maybe that could be a real problem, because you walk in like that, bolt upright and tall with your chin up in the air, someone is going to put you down at some point. Neat jab there from Lamagna, just caught Budimir Bekkan as she was opening out for the right hand. Just rocked her back onto her heels, made her reset and go again. Very much a kind of amateur style, Lamagna. There's not much on the punches that she throws, but her accuracy is decent. Good right hand there from Budimir Bekkan. Midway through the round. Good straight left hand there from Lamagna. Budimir Bekkan again just walks onto the jab there as she's shaping to throw that right, and that kills her really, because as I said, it just means you have to start, you have to stop, start again, reset. Try and get yourself back into the position you were in. Lamagna, like I said, has got that kind of laid-back style, but she is always moving. She is putting Budimir Bekkan under some pressure here now. Left to the body, and again just throws that right hand as she's just sliding off to her right. Straight left then, looking for the uppercut. Budimir Bekkan, no credit to her, is just sticking to the game plan here, as she has done all the way through. Final few seconds. And just a reminder of how the scores were at the start of round 3. There was a 2-point margin in favour of Lamagna with 2 of the judges. The other 3 scorecards were 19-19, so Budimir Bekkan needs to have converted all of those into 29-28 in her favour. If she's done that, then she'll win. Lamagna, of the 2 fighters, of those 3 cards rather, just needs one out of those 3, and she goes through, and I find it difficult to imagine that she hasn't done that.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner by split decision in the red corner.
So the Magna gets it, and that final round, she won that one with 4 of the judges, so just the one card going against her there. She's got 3 rounds to 0 with 2 judges, 2 rounds to 1 with 2 of the others, and Wales has gone 2-1 in favour of Budimir Bekan. Decent fight. Right winner, but I thought Budimir Bekan gave a good account of herself there, just 18 years old. So now we move into the featherweights. And the interesting thing about the featherweight semi-finals is that not a single seed has made it through to the last 4. In the first one, we've got Valeria Deviatakina of Russia and Vilma Viitanen of Finland. And it was Deviatakina who beat the Czech #1 seed Lenka Bernadova by unanimous decision. That was in the previous round. She got past Bettina Kiss as well. Viitanen has beaten Zena Nasser of Germany and Uliana Yesipenka of Bulgaria.
Ring B, bout number 218. Into the red corner, please welcome the boxer representing Russia, Deviatakina Valeria. Into the blue corner, please welcome the boxer representing Finland, Viitanen Vilma. Referee, Pavlov Pavel from Bulgaria. Judge 1 from Czech Republic. Judge 2 from Serbia. Judge 3 from Slovakia. Judge 4 from Hungary. Judge 5 from Italy.
Beautiful breeze is just
fighting out of the red corner,
blowing in from the sea over to our left.
Valeria. Across the ring, fighting out of a blue corner, Viitanen Vilma from Finland.
And that breeze will be very, very welcome for the fighters. This is such a fantastic place for a boxing tournament. Just a few hundred yards from the Adriatic. Villas that the fighters are staying in just right next door, literally across the road, about 20 yards away. All the facilities that they could want. The European Youth Championships were here in 2018, and I'm not surprised at all that they decided to come back. The finals in a couple of days' time will be in a different venue, more in the centre of town, indoors, which is a shame by my reckoning, but I understand it. Valeria Deviatakina of Russia in the red and Viitanen of Finland in the blue. This in the featherweight division.
Round 1.
So 2 southpaws here shaping up. Deviatakina boxing for Russia in red, Viitanen of Finland in blue. Deviatakina, as I said, beating the #1 seed in her quarter-final. Deviatakina just looking to try and get on that front foot, close that distance down, because Viitanen is the taller of the two. With that height should come that kind of reach advantage, but Deviatakina is getting right on top of her at the start of the fight here. Looks for that big overhand left, landed it a couple of times already, then a right hand followed off the back of it. Viitanen at the moment is caught in the headlights a bit. Right hand there from Deviatakina. Viitanen has got to find a way of just stopping Deviatakina, just closing her down like this. I was going to say stopping her walking in, but what she's doing isn't quite as basic as that. She uses those feet well. She cuts off the ring nicely and comes in off the back of the jab as she did there. Now, Viitanen did have a little bit of success on that occasion in that exchange up close, but Deviatakina still had the better of that particular argument. Viitanen needs to try and use that jab. Just throw that jab. Just opens out for a left hand there, Viitanen, as she sees Deviatakina coming forward. When she sees her coming forward like that, the first thing she needs to go for is the jab. Deviatakina just trying to manoeuvre Viitanen a little bit there into the final minute of round one. And steps in. Every now and again, the fighter in red steps in, throws that jab, looks for the left hand, did it again there, put the right hand, the right hook off the back of it in the third punch of that three-punch combination. It wasn't really that clean, but it was that third punch which was almost a kind of afterthought, which was the one that got through. Final few seconds of the first round. And looking for the 1-2 again there, Deviatakina, and that's a good round for the Russian fighter. She hasn't exactly beaten Viitanen up in that round, but she's dominated proceedings on the front foot, making the fight, landing the better shots. Viitanen just backing up, constantly backing up. She doesn't really seem to have that jab that she needs, to be honest, to be able to keep Deviatakina off her, give her something to think about, just offset her and make her start again. $10-9 across the board there for Valeria Deviatakina.
Seconds out. Round 2.
So into the second, Deviatakina of Russia in the red, Viitanen of Finland in the blue. Good round for the Russian in the opening round. She dictated terms. And Viitanen has got to give her a bit back here. It's as simple as that. Sounds quite basic, but that's what she has to do. She's got to try and snap out that jab. Deviatakina, though, starting aggressively again at the beginning of round 2. I don't think she feels like there's anything to really fear here from Viitanen. And I think she's going to look to try and bully her a bit in this second round. Viitanen throws that 1-2 to reasonable effect, but I don't think it's going to discourage her opponent too much. Good jab there from Deviatakina. Sometimes she throws a strong single jab, stays not upright, but holds her position when she throws it. Other times, as she did just there, she throws the jab, dips down to the right-hand side as she throws it, and then wings that left hand kind of up and over the top. So she takes her head off the punching line and throws that left hand. Did it again there, and what she can do when she's done that, off the back of it, if she falls short, she can just keep moving forward, get right on top of her opponent, and that makes it very difficult to counter. That was decent from Viitanen. She just took her feet out there, made Deviatakina fall short, but then just wasn't really in a position to do much about it. Midway through round 2. Leading off with the right hook there, Deviatakina. Haven't seen that too much. Caught by right hand there from Viitanen, that was good, and Deviatakina has just lost her way a little bit towards the end of this round. She's going for a few single shots, which is not something she's really looked for so far, leading off with the right hook and looking for big lefts to the body. Again, they're very open as she just waded in, looking for a left to the body, and Viitanen's having a good spell here because Deviatakina's leaving herself slightly vulnerable, and Vitanen's picked her off 4 or 5 times there in the course of the last 30-40 seconds. Really all because Daria Cosrez, rather than jabbing away in, using that jab followed by the right hand, as I said, just pulling that head to the right off the punching line, has got a little bit single shot happy, maybe feeling the pace a bit. That could be a factor, but she's fading towards the end of round 2 here, the Russian. That much is certainly true. I can see it right before my eyes. I'm not sure it's going to be enough for Vitanen to win the round. I think Daria Cosrez won the first 2 minutes of that round, and Vitanen won the last minute of it. That would be my interpretation of it, which wouldn't be enough for the Finnish fighter, but definitely some grounds for encouragement there for it. Well, split scores, and Vitanen gets it with 3 of the judges. Daria Cosrez gets it with 2, so she's got a 2-point advantage through 2 rounds here, Daria Cosrez. The other 3 scorecards are level, so Vitanen needs all of those 3. That's not impossible, given what we saw at the end of round 2. As I said, that finish she had was good, and it really did level things up. I wondered whether she'd quite done enough to level it up myself, but split scoring, I think, in that round is totally understandable. 3 of those judges deciding that Vitanen did just do enough, and it's absolutely crucial for her that 3 did rather than 2, because that means she's got a chance here. If she was down by 2 rounds on 3 cards, then it'll be very hard to turn this around. Daria Cosrez looking to start strong here, as she has done in every round, but Vitanen has got to hang in there, because in the previous round, Daria Cosrez faded badly towards the end. Vitanen's got to match her as best she can in the first minute and a half maybe, but again, Daria Cosrez is feeling the pace here. Left hand to the body there from Vitanen, and these are promising signs for the Finnish fighter. Bit of blood coming from the nose there of Daria Cosrez, who is gassing here, no question. Looks for that single shot, looking for that 1-2, but it's much more laboured and tired looking now from Daria Cosrez. Vitanen doesn't want to let her do that. She falls short and then looks to get in a grab hold. Good single shot there from Vitanen, as Daria Cosrez kind of just wades forward, hitting the midway point of the round. And that first minute, she managed to sustain some attacking intent, Daria Cosrez, but she's caught 3-4 times there by Vitanen. Head's almost coming together on the inside there. Vitanen has just got to dig deep here and pull everything she's got out, because she needs all 3 of those level cards to go through, all 3 of them. It's doable. And Daria Cosrez, for her part, she's got to dig even deeper, if anything. And that's not a bad tactic. She just throws that 1-2, gets in close, grabs hold of Vitanen, kills the clock for a few seconds. Vitanen cannot let her do that. The Finn just looking to try and pop the jab. And when she gets in close there, Daria Cosrez will grab hold as often as she can. The referee's not said anything about it, so he's not, well, he does now, inside the final minute. And she just, again, just throws that combination, then looks to grab hold, and she's got to be careful, because he's taking a point. He has taken the point. I was just going to say, she's got to be careful, because he will take the point. Now that could be catastrophic for Daria Cosrez. Really could. Vitanen, if she could finish strong, could maybe win the round anyway, and with the point deduction, that would definitely see her through. But this has been close, this final round. Daria Cosrez, dead on her feet though she may be, has worked really, really hard. But with those 19-19s, let's say she won them, but then with the point deduction, we would get even scores. So judges' decisions could play a part here as we get to the final bell, and I really couldn't tell you which way that one is going to go. In the 3rd round, it did look like it might be there for the taking for Vitanen, because Daria Cosrez, as I said, a minute into that round, she looked absolutely done, but she just managed to keep going, keep throwing. in the end, that tactic of throwing the 1-2 and then getting up close and grabbing hold cost her the point. But it all depends on how the judges have scored that final round. She had a 2-point lead with 2 of them. That will remain intact, or well, may not do with the deduction.
By split decision in the blue corner.
Well, Viitanen gets it by split decision. So she's got 3 scores of 29 to 27. So she took it. She took all of those 19-19s, and then there was the point deduction. So without the point deduction, she still would have got through. And that is a special effort by her. Daria Cosrez, through those first 2 rounds, was in the driving seat. But that split scoring in the second round, as it turned out, was absolutely critical as well. Absolutely critical. Good fight, really good fight. So Viitanen goes through. That just gives you a little bit of an idea of the heat, the factor that the heat can play. Viitanen stood up to it well. Paced it well. Daria Cosrez put a lot into those first 2 rounds, and towards the end of the second round, you could see that she was struggling. Big effort from her in the final round. Credit to her for that, but Viitanen, with the judges, with 4 of those judges, did enough to win that final round anyway. And then when you lob in the point deduction, that was curtains for Daria Cosrez. So next up, we've got Anastasia Kowalczuk and Cyrilina Charabi. Kowalczuk of Ukraine, Charabi of Italy.
Ring B, bout number 219. Into the red corner, please welcome the boxer representing Ukraine, Kowalczuk Anastasia. Into the blue corner, please welcome the boxer representing Italy, Charabi Cyril. Referee, Morrison Stephen from Scotland. Judge 1 from Azerbaijan. Judge 2 from Hungary. Judge 3 from France. Judge 4 from Poland. Judge 5 from Israel. Fighting out of the red corner, Kowalczuk Anastasia from Ukraine. Across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner, Charabi Cyril from Italy.
So Kowalczuk has beaten Una Prinsen of the Netherlands and Nikolina Kacic, the number 3 seed from Croatia. So far, she's 1-0 as a pro, actually, Kowalczuk. Beat Kacic by unanimous decision. Charabi of Italy got past Angelika Stepanyan of Armenia, and then the number 2 seed, Amanda Miller of Latvia. That was by unanimous decision as well. So as I said, none of the seeds have made it through to the semi-finals at featherweight. That's been a bit of a feature of this female half of the competition. Not many seeds making it through at all. So Kowalczuk of Ukraine in the red, Charabi of Italy in the blue. Italy have already had a fighter through today in ring B, Giulia Lamagna.
Round 1.
So we've got a southpaw here in blue of Charabi, orthodox fighter Kowalczuk of Ukraine. Charabi is a big featherweight. Kowalczuk just shuffling in, inching forward, looking for that jab, just slightly short with it. Nice little short steps with the feet, then just gets caught on the end of that superior reach of Charabi, and that's what she looks to do by the look of things early on. Kowalczuk was tagged there as she came forward, the fighter in red, but she's looking to try and get on top of Charabi as much as she can. Charabi, for her part, as soon as she feels like Kowalczuk is in range, she will let her hands go. This is going to be a good fight to watch, I think. hit gloves there, Charabi, but as I say, it's almost like there's this kind of force field around her, and as soon as she feels it disturbed, like Kowalczyk has disturbed it, that she's in range, she will just punch. Good combination there from Charabi, just flings those gloves up from waist high, from low. Kowalczyk, as she comes in, is just met by that kind of blizzard of punches. She's got to find a way to get inside that. Clash of heads there, the teeth just banging together, I think. Referee just having a look at the two sets of teeth. He's taking it over to the doctor. Charabi says she's fine. What Kowalczyk doesn't want to do is get caught in that kind of thrashing machine when Charabi just lets those hands go. Good example of it there. She just throws. Nice, rapid, quick hands. Kowalczyk just chasing Charabi around the ring a bit, not really cutting that ring off. You can see that she's wanting to be a pressure fighter. That's what she's trying to do here, but the problem she's got is that when she walks in, she kind of dips her head a little bit. Charabi is just beating her to the punch. She needs to try and move that head, move that upper body, drop that height a little bit, and get inside that first line of defence. Because when they're trading at that distance there, Charabi is going to have the better of it. Bit of blood coming out of the end of the nose there of Charabi. But Kowalczyk is making Charabi work hard here. You never know what might happen down the stretch, rounds 2 and 3. Because if she loses this round, Kowalczyk, she's definitely taken something out of Charabi's tank, I would say, but also may have taken plenty out of her own. Charabi just backpedaling there and maybe got caught. Didn't quite see that. It was on the blind side to me. The gum shield comes out there of Charabi. Kowalczyk having a bit of success right at the end of the round. I think she must have caught Charabi with something there, because all of a sudden the Italian fighter was on the retreat, and the Ukrainian corner just signalling to Kowalczyk that she's got to keep that punch output high. I think they feel as this progresses, she might be able to just walk down and walk through Charabi, who has had to throw a lot in this opening round. For me, she's done the more effective punching in the first round, and the scoring, I would imagine, will go her way. But as I said, it's come at a cost. And these two just standing square in front of each other and throwing in the final few seconds of round 1, and that is an intense opening round. And Charabi with a little bit of a complaint there, just saying that the heads may be cracked together, and that she's not too much of a fan of some of the head work there from Kowalczyk, who does tend to dip her head as she comes in. But it's a real interesting opening round, that. Really interesting. Charabi has got nice, quick hands. Kowalczyk was a little bit bamboozled at times in that opening round, but towards the end there, she started to make a little bit of a dent, and that is something to hold on to. Maybe in round 2, halfway through the round, she'll be able to really get to work. Maybe in round 3, it'll be sooner than that. Charabi's got to really dig in. Really dig in. As I said, she was made to work really very, very hard. Itching to have a look at the scores here. Hopefully we'll get them. And we do. Charabi gets it 10-9 with all the judges, which is the right way to go, I would say. But as I've outlined, I think this could get very interesting as we go deeper into it. Kowalczyk just trying to take those little steps and just cut the ring off. Charabi there in the early stages has still got those nice fast hands. Kowalczyk though pursuing her across the ring. Does land with the left hand. Charabi slides away to her right. The referee has a quick word with Kowalczyk about bringing that head in low. Ukrainian corner just encouraging Kowalczyk just to stay on top of Charabi, not give her any room to breathe. Charabi with a nice combination, then manages to move off. That's what she has to do. That's what she has to keep doing. Question is, can she do it for all 3 minutes of this round? through minute 1. She's got a nose in front here, the Italian. Ends up dumped to the canvas there. A push followed by a bit of a slip, but Kowalczyk will take heart from that. That's a show of physical strength, and with her back to me there, right on the ropes, just a few feet above me, you can see that she is a strong fighter. She's got wide shoulders, tapering up from that slim waist. There's some power there, definitely, and rattling away on the inside to the body, then goes up top to the head, Kowalczyk. She's got to look to try and take over as we hit the midway point of round 2. She needs this round. Charabi, if she can dig in and just squeeze this one out as well, maybe on 3 of the 5 cards, then she's all but there. So this absolutely crucial now, this next 80 seconds or so. Kowalczyk has got to get a foothold in the fight with the scores in this second round. Kowalczyk just looking for that 1-2. Charabi punching and trying to move off again. Kowalczyk 2 phases of attack, but Charabi does well there through the right hand. Turned Kowalczyk just as it looked like she might be able to get on top of her. Charabi just doing enough here for me. Again, she's backing up, but again, she finds the right distance there, manages to catch Kowalczyk on the way in. He's doing her best to walk her down. Charabi just grabbing hold a little bit there. She's got to be careful about holding. She hasn't done too much of it so far, but if she does too much of it in the final round, and you can see a point go, as we did in our previous fight. Nice jab there from Charabi off the back foot, and again there on the ropes, and good head movement too. She's working very hard in this second round, and she could be doing enough here to open up that 2-point gap on the majority of cards going into the third. Kowalczyk with a strong finish right at the very end, but I just don't think she did enough there. Not for me in that second round, Kowalczyk. She was on the front foot all the time, but Charabi kept those hands moving and kept those feet moving too, just as crucially. We'll have to see which way the judges have gone with it. What Kowalczyk desperately needs here is to have won that round with 3 of the judges, at least. She won all 5, of course, but if she can get 3, then she can still pull this off going into the final round. Anything less than that, and it's going to be very, very difficult. She'll need a point deducted. And Charabi's got it 10-9 across the board there, I would agree with that. She had to dig in, but maybe found a little bit of a second wind, who knows. So she's got that 2-0 lead through the first 2 rounds. Kowalczyk has got to keep putting the pressure on and keep putting the pressure on. And as I say, hope that she gets to Charabi, and that Charabi maybe gets a bit desperate, starts holding a bit too much, and loses a point that way. It's possible. But she's got to win the round first and foremost. Charabi starting this round like a fighter who knows that she's 2 rounds up. And that all she needs to do in this final round is avoid a hiding and not get a point deducted, and she's there. Good right hand there from Charabi. Kowalczyk just coming forward. She's never stopped coming forward. Bit of a laboured looking left hand there from Charabi. A minute down in the third and final round. The punch output is not the same from Charabi here. Kowalczyk hasn't landed a great deal in this final round either. Well, the point has gone there from Kowalczyk for bringing in the head a little bit low. The gum shield comes out from Charabi. Hopefully that was accidental and she didn't spit it out. I couldn't see, but she looks pretty unsteady on her feet. This is taking its toll on her, certainly. But with Kowalczyk having just lost a point, then that basically makes it impossible for her to win now, because even if she wins this final round, even were she to win it 10-8 from here on in with that point deduction, that still wouldn't be enough. But Charabi looks spent. You look over to the far side of the ring there. Through that first minute of the round, she seemed to be holding up okay, but she's just going to use her feet now and just try and stay away from Kowalczyk as much as she can. Kowalczyk has got to try and knock her out, essentially. That's what she needs to do here. Good right hand there from Kowalczyk, heading into the final minute, and Charabi just wraps her up on the ropes and just totters away to her left-hand side, and you just look at the way she's moving, and he's taken away a point for holding. I think that was, well, he was pretty quick to do that, the referee, so that levels it up on the point deduction front. Charabi still with that 2-point gap going into the final round. Big right hand there from Kowalczyk. Kowalczyk could provide a real big finish here. Then she's still in with a shout, but it's got to be a big finish because it's got to be enough to see her take this round 10-8, unless there's another point deduction. Unless another point goes here from Charabi. And she catches the 1-2 there, Charabi. Kowalczyk with under 30 seconds to go here. She's going to run out of time. If she hadn't lost that point for the heads coming together, for bringing the head in low, then she may have been able to do enough to take this to a judge's decision, but I don't think it's going to prove to be the case. Final few seconds, Charabi just fighting on instinct, fighting on memory here, and there goes the bell, and that was an entertaining fight. That was an entertaining fight, and well, we knew the scenario going into that third and final round. 20 points to 18 up with all three judges, Serena Charabi, but after a minute of that final round, she was absolutely done. She was cooked. So Kowalczyk then lost a point for bringing the head in a bit too low, a bit too often, which seemed to completely kibosh her chances. But then Charabi had a point gone herself for holding. Kowalczyk, I think, has probably won that round, but it's not going to be enough.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner by unanimous decision in the blue corner, representing
so Charabi gets it, and
Charabi
Kowalczyk got it with 3 of the judges in that final round. The other 2 went for Charabi. There wasn't an enormous amount of clean punching. I thought that was a Kowalczyk round myself, but with the point deductions cancelling each other out, she needed to win that round 10-8 with 3 out of those 5 judges, and that certainly didn't happen. But it was a good fight. So that completes the featherweight semi-finals, and we now know that our final will see Vilma Viitanen up against Serena Charabi in the final, and we march on to the lightweights. First up, we've got Nune Asatrian, the Russian #1 seed, up against Gemma Richardson of England. Richardson has won a gold medal here before, as has Asatrian. They both boxed here at the European Championships in 2018. Richardson was at 64 kilos at that point. She's now down to 60. And these are much decorated, these two. 2018, Asatrian won a silver at the World Youth Championships.
Ring B, bout number
Richardson, meanwhile, at 64 kilos,
into the red corner,
won a gold.
please welcome the boxer representing Russia, Asatrian Union. Into the blue corner, please welcome the boxer representing England, Richardson Gemma Page. Referee Budautrius from Lithuania. Judge 1 from Moldova. Judge 2 from Bulgaria. Judge 3 from Slovakia. Judge 4 from France. Judge 4 from Czech Republic. Judge 5 from France. In the red corner from Russia, Asatrian Nun. In the blue corner from England, Richardson Gemma Page.
So, as I said, a big haul of medals between these two. Anastasia, the Russian #1 seed. Silver medals at the 2018 Youth Euros, silver at the World Youth in 2018. All three of those defeats at 60 kilos, all of them against Caroline Dubois, who's qualified for the Olympic Games at 60 kilos for Great Britain. Gemma Richardson won gold in the European Youth in 2018 and 2019, and at those 2018 World Youth Championships, now at 64 kilos. So Richardson in the blue there in the orthodox stance, and we got another orthodox fighter there in Anastasia. She got a third round stoppage against Lena Buchner of Germany in her previous fight, Anastasia, and that was abandoned, conceded basically in the third round. Richardson beat Ellie Gartland of Ireland by unanimous decision. Caught by a right hand on her way in there, Richardson. Slightly untidy at times in the opening minute there. Anastasia just looking to try and wrap Richardson up a bit when Richardson gets up tight, looking to try and use that jab there. Richardson slightly short with it, triggers the right hand, but again just didn't quite make it. Anastasia with a wider right hand there, may just have found a route through with that. Anastasia just half shaping there. Nice jab there from Richardson. Anastasia came forward there and just found that left hand of Richardson rammed straight into her face. It's quite cagey at times this so far. Richardson definitely the one looking to try and get onto the front foot. Anastasia much more reactive. Both of them just closing the space down there. Well, the referee has taken a point away from Anastasia for holding almost straight away there. 2 minutes into the first round, and that's a big blow for Anastasia to lose a point at that stage. She has been spoiling. I would say that's fair because Richardson, as I said, has been the fighter on the front foot looking to make things happen. Anastasia looks quite tentative here. She looks quite nervous, to be honest with you, at times, and maybe that point going will just serve to soothe those nerves in a strange kind of way, because she's got to start fighting now. Good right hand there from Richardson. Good right hand, really piled in over the back of that one. No knockdown there, that was a slip. Well, that was better from Anastasia. Nice head movement from Richardson, just on the outside there. That's a good right hand, managed to reach with that right hand. Anastasia trying to come forward, I think got through with the left, but that's a good opening round there for Gemma Richardson. I'll make that her round, plus the point deduction. If that proves to be the case, if the judges agree with me, then that's a great start. Anastasia showed more though towards the end of that first round, more of what she could do. As I said at the beginning, she looked tense. These are two very, very experienced fighters, but nerves can be a factor at times. She certainly didn't look quite right in that opening minute, and there were some spoiling tactics a little bit. So, well, the scoring there, 2 scores in favour of Richardson, 3 in favour of Anastasia, and then you factor in the point deduction.
Seconds out.
To be honest with you, I don't see how you could score that round to Anastasia, I really don't.
Round 2.
So into the second round. Richardson in the blue, England. Nune Anastasia of Russia in the red. And she took that first round with 3 of the judges. Richardson got it with 2, but there was the point deduction in Richardson's favour. And I think there was a 10-8 in those scores in Richardson's favour as well. I'll have to check that for you when we see the scores at the end of this round. Richardson looking to get on top of Asatrian here. And they end up in a heap on the floor. Done a go with the right hand there, Richardson. Decent body work there from Asatrian. She got up close there as Richardson let her 1-2 go. Rattled a couple off to the rib cage. Richardson again just looking for that 1-2. When she throws it straight, she has good success with it. Every now and again she throws that right hand a little bit wider and it doesn't work quite so well. Well, the referee has taken a point there for holding from Richardson. They both ended up getting pushed into the ropes. They were up close, they were up tight, and Asatrian just holding on the far side of the ring now. I think the referee's been a bit premature taking a point off both of them, to be honest with you. Asatrian in the first round, he did that very quickly, taking a point from Richardson there. I struggled to see really what that was for. I know what it was for, and there's another point that's gone here. This one from Asatrian for a bit of wrestling, which has sent Richardson to the canvas, and this is getting messy, very, very messy. And Richardson trying to disentangle herself, but again, Asatrian's got hold of her there in a headlock almost, really. Heading into the final 30 seconds, and both of them have had a point deducted in this round. Asatrian had one taken away in the first round. Absolute chaos with the scores, really, that causes. And this has been one of those rounds where there hasn't been all that much effective punching. There's a good 1-2 from Richardson. And she looks to throw another one, and Asatrian gets hold of her, and again just gets hold of her and pushes her back into the ropes here. And of these two, for me, it is the Russian who is offending more than the English fighter, I would say, and that has been reflected by the referee with 2 points taken from Asatrian to Richardson's 1. And that second round, well, it's just a shame that we're not really getting to see these two fight. So let's see if I can make some sense of the scores for you when they come in terms of factoring in all those point deductions. So we've got Richardson ahead on all 5 scorecards there by significant margins in a couple of cases. So into the third and final round, Asatrian of Russia in the red, Richardson of England in the blue. Nice 1-2 there from Richardson. That's worked well for her on occasion when she just found that distance, caught Asatrian coming forward, and those types of punches are very easy to see. And the referee's taken another point here, so it's 2 point deductions apiece. Richardson this time loses a point for use of the head, according to the referee. Nice right hand from Asatrian, but a good 1-2 from Richardson as Asatrian came forward. He's been very quick to take points, this referee. Really, really quick. It's 2 apiece. But it's been a bit bewildering at times, I can't lie. Again, they just fall into each other. There's been a lot of this. They're kind of wrestling on the inside, and they both end up on the canvas. I think maybe the referee needs to get in a bit quicker here and break them up, because he knows what's coming next. When they do get tight, Asatrian in particular isn't showing any great inclination to work her way out of it. There's a good right hand there from Richardson. Sneaky little left on the inside. Asatrian there is kind of making it look like she's interested in disentangling when actually she's not really. And the Russian corner kind of screaming at Asatrian at times. There's that 1-2, finishing with a left hand there from Richardson. Heading towards the final minute of round 3, and she had a lead with all 5 judges going into this final round. The referee didn't say break, and Richardson just slung in a left hand as a result of that. And he's got to get in quicker here, the referee. I'm all for allowing fighters to work their way out and work on the inside, but when they fall into each other like they are now, just get in and break them. Just break them now. Break them now, because we know what's going to happen here. We're going to have 5-10 seconds of this. Well, the punches that have been thrown in this round, I make this a Richardson round, but she has lost the point deduction, and Asatrian just pushing her deep back into the ropes there. One-two there from Asatrian was decent, but again now she's just pulling down on the back of the head there of Richardson. Richardson just looking to try and throw that jab into the final 10 seconds. Asatrian comes forward. Richardson trying to make a bit of room there to punch. Asatrian just pushing off with the elbow. Richardson feels like she's done enough. I think she probably will have, but she did lose the point in that final round to make it 2-point deductions each. From what I saw, I think she won all 3 rounds there, although the second round was difficult to score because it was so messy, not that much happened. But at ringside, really, you did just get the feeling watching that fight that only one of them really came to fight there. Asatrian was very negative from the beginning with the way she went about things, and I think the messy nature of the fight was more down to her than it was down to Richardson. That's just an honest appraisal from where I'm sitting, which is just a few feet away from the canvas.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner by split decision in the blue corner.
So Richardson gets it in the blue corner, 2-point deductions each. In the final round, she got it with 3 of the judges. She got it with all of the judges around 2. So 3-2 in the end there. 2 27-26s for Asatrian, and the other 3 cards going in favour of Richardson. So the right fighter got the decision there for me. It was a curious fight to watch that. 4 points being deducted. Not an easy one for the referee. I was a little bit critical at times. Definitely not an easy one, but as I said, although I'm all for giving fighters the time to fight on the inside and work themselves loose when they get up close and entangled, you just knew what was going to happen every time Asatrian got up close there. You knew. So he would have been better off, I think, just getting in and issuing the call to break nice and quick. But anyway, Richardson through to the final. And she will meet the winner of our next fight, which is between Amina Abramova of Ukraine and Daniela Gallino of Italy.
Into the red corner, please welcome the boxer representing Ukraine, Abramova Amina. Into the blue corner, please welcome the boxer representing Italy, Gallino Daniela. Referee Aslanov Fuad from Azerbaijan. Judge 1 from Scotland. Judge 2 from Poland. Judge 3 from Georgia. Judge 4 from Wales. Judge 5 from France. Fighting out of the red corner, Abramova Amina from Ukraine. Across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner, Gallino Daniela from Italy.
So Abramova of Ukraine beat Victoria Shashko of Belarus 5-0 in her previous fight. Gallino, the number 2 seed representing Italy, beat Husne Kalasir of Netherlands by disqualification, that was actually, in the third and final round. Both of these two have medalled at European youth tournaments previously. Abramova with a bronze in 2019. Gallino has collected a silver. So this to see who will go on to meet Gemma Richardson in the final.
Round 1.
So into the first round. Gallino of Italy in the blue. Abramova of Ukraine in the red. And we've got an orthodox fighter in Gallino and two orthodox fighters actually. Another orthodox fighter in Abramova. Abramova just looking to try and jab to the body, then up to the head. A couple of right hands there from Abramova, just coming in from wide. Decent straight shot there from Gallino as well though. Abramova looking to try and get onto the front foot and pressure Gallino, pin her back into the ropes. Throws a right hand and then moves straight onto the shoulder there, Abramova. She's been the busier of the two so far, just past the halfway point in round 1. Gallino trying to get onto the front foot a bit more now. These fighters have come together a number of times, and I think the referee's saying there to Abramova not to just dig away when they get entangled and entwined like they are at the moment. But unless the referee tells them to break, then what's she supposed to do? That's a decent looking punch. Nice uppercut there from Abramova as well. She's just got the edge on Gallino in terms of hand speed, in terms of work rate in this opening round, and the better punching, the more effective punching has come from Abramova. Judges are looking for punches delivered with the knuckle part of the glove to the head or the torso. Remember, that's how you score a legal blow in AIBA boxing. Abramova turning southpaw there, leading off with the right uppercut and landing it. Back to orthodox now. Round 1 down, good start there. Good opening 3 minutes for the Ukrainian. Gallino had her moments, but there's the fighter in the red corner from where I'm sitting that dominated proceedings there. Abramova gets it 10-9 with 4 of the 5 judges there. Gallino getting it 10-9 with the Scottish judge at ringside. So Ukrainian with
out.
the nose in front at the end of round 1.
Round 2.
Abramova again, just straight onto the front foot. Nice one too. She's looking to wind up that right hand. She's absolutely full of confidence here, Abramova. I think she liked what she did in that first round and feels that she could really build on it. She doesn't want to get too carried away. Pushing away with the heel part of the glove there. That's a legitimate complaint from the referee. You need to be careful. It doesn't take much for referees to take points in AIBA boxing. And just pushing down, pulling down on the back of the head there. She's got to be very, very cautious here. She has been in control of this so far through the first 4 minutes of this fight, but you lose a point and all of a sudden the complexion could change very quickly. Nice body attack there, followed by the right hand up to the head. He just shrugs Gallino off and throws another right hand there, Abramova. Nice head movement. Just flicking up the jab from the waist. Winding up that right hand, just rotating that right hand, looking for the opening. I think she found one there with that right. 1 minute to go in round 2. Gallino, she's not really in this at the minute. Good right hand there from Gallino, just caught Abramova on the way out. Left on the inside there too, but Abramova just landed a couple to the body. Gallino doing a bit better in the final stages of round 2. Bell goes at the end of round 2. And Abramova gets it with all 5 judges, so clear water between her and Gallino. Heading into this final round, a 2-point advantage with 4 out of the 5 judges. The Scottish judge has got it 19-19, so Abramova very much in control here, as she has been pretty much from the start. Just needs to make sure she doesn't lose a point in this final round. Bit of ice, I think, in the corner there, in that red corner, just being scooped away by the Ukrainian team. Nice 1-2 off the back foot there from Abramova, and Gallino will try and take it to her opponent in this 3rd round. She did do better in the final minute of round 3. Well, they need to sort out the ponytail there, I think, of Gallino. Just get that tucked back into the head guard. work rate just dipped a bit here from Abramova in round 3. In the early stages anyway. Nice little rat-a-tat-tat to the body though there from the Ukrainian. She's got this. She doesn't need to do anything crazy in this third and final round. As I said, she needs to avoid a point deduction, and basically she's won. Good strong right hand there from Abramova. She will want to win this final round, of course, but you start to think of the bigger picture in tournament boxing when you know that you're all but there. A day off tomorrow, which will be welcome for everybody. So the finalists will be fresh. And another thing you absolutely don't want to happen is to pick up any kind of injury in this final stretch either if you're Abramova. Throws the right hand there, Abramova, then just pulls the weight back. Very much boxing within herself in this third and final round. And again, they're going to need to tuck that ponytail back into the head guard for Gallino. Nice 1-2 there from Gallino. Caught Abramova with a good right hand in the neutral corner, right up above me. Well, they've got to do this properly this time, because this is the third time that we've had this problem. Running repairs are not the easiest thing to do, because you don't want to take the head guard off. But they've just got to try and get it back in there and get it to stay there. Abramova just happy to stick and move most of the time in this third round. She's coasting really. She knows that she's 2 rounds up with 4 of the judges. And there's no possible way that this is a 10-8 round to Gallino. She might have won this round, Gallino. It's possible. She's been the more aggressive of the two. She has landed some decent shots. So has Abramova though. And it'll be Abramova who goes through to the final to face Gemma Richardson, and that should be a very interesting fight. Good fight to watch. Gallino, the number 2 seed. And this is one of the rare divisions, the lightweight division and the heavyweight division, the only two where the number 1 and 2 seeds have made it through to the semi-finals in the women's section.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner by split decision in the red corner.
Abramova gets it by split decision 4-1, and it's Scotland who top of the pile there have gone 2-1 for Gallino. Everybody else has gone 3-0 to Abramova. I could see how you could sneak that final round to Gallino, but Abramova was well clear heading into that final round, and boxed like she knew that, which of course she will have done because the coaches will have communicated it to her in that scenario. So she goes through to the final on Thursday up against Gemma Richardson. So England against Ukraine in that final. And now we will head into the middleweight division. The number 1 seed, Anastasia Shamanova of Russia. will be up against Anastasia Shapanyuk of Ukraine. Russia against Ukraine, always an interesting showdown. Shamanova, a former world and European junior champion, a three-time world champion in total. European champion on numerous occasions as well. Had a really long unbeaten run at one point, which I remember at one stage was, I think, as long as 6 years. I'm not sure what it ended up being in the end.
222. Into the red corner, please welcome the boxer representing Russia, Shamanova Anastasia.
This is her first appearance, you got to buy.
Into the blue corner, please welcome the boxer representing Ukraine, Shapanyuk Anastasia. Referee, Yakhnovich Oleg from Israel. Judge 1 from Slovakia. Judge 2 from Lithuania. Judge 3 from Hungary. Judge 4 from Czech Republic. Judge 5 from Bulgaria. In the red corner, Shamanova Anastasia from Russia. In the blue corner, Shapanyuk Anastasia from Ukraine.
So I've outlined Shamanova's achievements up until this point. They've been extensive. As I said, she is the #1 seed. Shapanyuk's a very experienced international herself. She's had one fight as well, beating Ivona Burnic of Ukraine, of Croatia, I beg your pardon, in her previous encounter. As I said, Shamanova's yet to box. This is her first outing in Roseto due to the bye that she received. Now, there's two ways of looking at that. You could say that she's completely fresh, which of course she is. Or you could say that Shapanyuk's got a slight advantage there because she's got some boxing under her belt in this competition. She's tested the waters. But given how experienced Shamanova is, I don't think it's going to be a problem for her, the fact that she hasn't managed to completely acclimatise herself, if you like.
Round 1.
So into the first round, Shamanova, Russia, red, Shapanyuk, Ukraine, blue. It's the middleweight division, 75 kilos. Quite cagey so far through this first minute. It's Shamanova who's holding the centre of the ring for the most part. Shapanyuk giving a little bit of ground at times. Shamanova just shuffling forward. Some decent body punching there. Lets the left hand go 2-3 times. Heads almost coming together there as they wrestle on the inside. Shapanyuk just feinting the jab to the head there and then takes it down to the body. Shamanova rather. Just feinting with that front foot every now and again, Shamanova, but she can't really draw too much from Shapanyuk. Just cramping herself for space a little bit there, Shamanova, as she tried to let that 1-2 go. Shapanyuk had closed in a touch herself. There wasn't really room for it heading into the final 20 seconds or so of round one. It's not been a hugely eventful opening round. It's been Shamanova who's looked to try and dictate. Szczepaniuk snuck in a decent right hand there. She's been just on the outside, Szczepaniuk, most of the time, on the borderline of range. Hasn't committed herself too much. Has got through with a few, but so was Shamanova. Not a huge amount to separate them, you could argue, but Shamanova kind of looked like the boss in there. It's about clean punching. It's about effective punching first and foremost. That's the primary criteria. But if judges are going to struggle to separate them on that front, then the dynamic of the fight does come into it. Who looks like they're trying to make something happen? Who is more proactive of the two? Who's maybe imposing themselves with their feet, if not necessarily with their fists? And I felt that was Shamanova, and she gets the nod with all 5 judges around ringside.
Seconds out. Round 2.
So Shamanova quickly to the centre of the ring there, leading off with a jab, and catches Szczepaniuk with it. Looking for the double jab right hand there. The right hand went down to the body from Shamanova. The double jab up top just distracting Szczepaniuk a little bit there. Szczepaniuk's got to do more here, heading up towards the midway stage of round 2. She's not finding herself on the end of too much. Takes her feet back nicely there, rides the 1-2. But she's just not really going with Shamanova. As I said, she's very reactive. Shamanova is the fighter leading off. She's the one throwing the volume. And enough of it's getting through. This is a semi-final. Szczepaniuk has got to, she's got to commit a bit more here. She's losing the fight at the moment. Decent 1-2 again there from Shamanova. A little bit of a problem with the head guard, maybe, I think, of Szczepaniuk. Again, with that exchange on the inside, Szczepaniuk throws back, but it's Shamanova who has the final say. She gets the better of the argument every time, really. Decent enough jab off the back foot there from Szczepaniuk, but she's also always giving ground. Good right hand there from Shamanova. Final few seconds of round 2, and this is going to be another Shamanova round. I don't think there's any doubt about that. And this is looking pretty comfortable for her so far. 10-9 across the board there for the Russians, so a 2-point advantage she takes into the third and final round. She's the #1 seed and has had much decorated.
Seconds out.
At junior level, at youth level. So she would have been a pretty hot favourite going into this one. Szczepaniuk, I don't want to be too critical because this is a semi-final. She's done well to get here. She is an experienced fighter, but it just hasn't really looked at any stage like she believes she can beat Shamanova. From the way she's gone about this. She's going to get through these 3 rounds. She's not going to disgrace herself by any stretch, but she's going to lose 3-0 with all 5 judges. Unless she does something to break the rhythm of the fight in this third and final 3 minutes. And that doesn't look likely. Both of them take a tumble. Feint there from Shamanova again, just throws that lead glove up high and comes back down, looks for the jab. Referee just having a quick word about making contact with the inside of the glove. It has to be the knuckle part of the glove. Into the final minute. The Russian corner still giving instructions here to Shamanova, but she's all but through here and doesn't need to overexert herself in this final 45 seconds. Just short with the jab there, Shamanova. Her stamina is held up nicely through these 9 minutes. There goes the bell, and that will be a win for Anastasia Shamanova, the #1 seed. She will go through to the final, and she will go through by unanimous decision. Our next semi-final just waiting in the wings. At middleweight, that'll be Agata Kaczmarska of Poland up against Gabriele Stonkute of Lithuania. Stonkute, who beat the #2 seed, Melissa Gemini of Italy, in her previous fight.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner by unanimous decision in the red corner, representing Russia.
So she gets it, Shamanova, 3-0 with all 5 judges. And she goes through to Thursday's final. Team just giving the ring a quick wiped down. Very well practiced they are at that. So 3 more fights remaining in this session. 1 more semi-final at middleweight and then 2 to come in the heavyweight division. Daria Cosrez, there was the fighter I saw at the World Youth Championships in Poland. Came up just short in the final against Pathan of India. India had an unbelievable day, winning 7 gold medals.
Ring B, bout number 223. Into the red corner, please welcome the boxer representing Poland, Kaczmarska Agata. Into the blue corner, please welcome the boxer representing Lithuania, Stonkut Gabriel. Referee, Mardano Edward from Georgia. Judge 1 from Italy. Judge 2 from Scotland. Judge 3 from France. Judge 4 from Israel. Judge 5 from Azerbaijan. In the red corner, from Poland, Kaczmarska Agata. In the blue corner, from Lithuania, Stonkut Gabriel.
So Kaczmarska of Poland away to my right in the red corner. She beat Regina Lakos of Hungary in her previous fight. Experienced international fighter. Stonkut of Lithuania in the blue corner, as I said, knocked out the number 2 seed, a home fighter as well in Melissa Gemini of Italy in the 1 fight she's had so far. Shamanova awaits the winner of this one in the final. 75 kilos, it's the middleweight division.
Round 1.
Stonkut with the physical advantage here. She almost looks a weight division above Kaczmarska. Kaczmarska may be a slightly small middleweight. Can't do 69 kilos, but hasn't filled that completely into 75, possibly, by the look of the 2 of them. Stonkut with some physical advantage here. Just tend to lean quite heavily on that front foot, the Lithuanian fighter in blue. That weight is well forward. That might be something that Kaczmarska can capitalise on. If she can just get her to take that weight right over the top of the front foot, then there's no way she'll be able to get it back. Just jabbing to the body there. Stonkut. Nice short jab there from the Lithuanian. Needs to keep trying to use that. Lead left hand there though from Kaczmarska was a good shot. Gets up nice and close. Lands that right hand. That's where she needs to be. Got onto the inside again effectively there too. And launched the body attack. Stonkut has got to keep using that jab. Got to try and use that reach if she can. As I said though, she does really lean forward onto that front foot, and that just puts her head into easier range for Kaczmarska. Good jab there from Stonkut. Every now and again she pops it out with some good snap on it. Right hand there from Kaczmarska, who catches Stonkut. Into the final minute of round 1. Plenty have been thrown in this opening round. Goes to the body, then up to the head there, Kaczmarska. Right hand again over the top, left hand on the inside from Kaczmarska, who's having some good success here as the round goes on. Decent jab. Stonkut is having some joy herself as well. Pulls off a right hand there. But Kaczmarska just walking her down increasingly towards the end of the round. Left to the body, right up to the head. final few seconds. Nice right hand there from Stonkuta. Good body punching there from Kaczmarska. Right hand comes back again there from Stonkuta. Good fight to watch this. Really good fight to watch. Bell goes at the end of the round, and just as I say that, we get a nice stiff breeze just blowing into the ring from the sea a couple of 100 yards away to my left, and that will hit the fighters any time now, and they'll be glad of it, because that was a tough first round. There was plenty put into that by both of them. There was a lot thrown. Stonkuta had a good start. Kaczmarska came more into it as the round progressed, and then Stonkuta just had a good kind of final 10-15 seconds. So on balance, I would go with the red corner there, but there wasn't an enormous amount to separate the two, I don't think. Stonkuta, though, I don't think is going to be able to really use her physical advantages as much as maybe she might. So split scoring there, which doesn't come as a surprise. 3-2 in favour of Kaczmarska. Italy, Scotland, Azerbaijan going to the pole. France and Israel going to the Lithuanian.
Round 2.
As I said, Stonkuta has got the advantage of height and reach, but she doesn't really use it because she has that weight on the front foot. She kind of leans into her jab most of the time, which just takes that reach advantage away, essentially. You can see a bit of marking up around the left eye there of Stonkuta. Referee just telling her to keep her head up. Nice left-hander she was moving off there, Stonkuta, but Kaczmarska gets up close, works the body well. Nice right hand there from Stonkuta. And she's made some adjustments here in the second round, the Lithuanian. She's moving a little bit more. She's maintaining that distance better than she did in the first round, despite the fact that she takes away a bit of her reach, as I mentioned, by leaning in slightly too much. She's still making it work for her better in this second round than she did in the first. Kaczmarska not able to get onto the inside as much as she did in the opening round. Tight first round, remember. 3 judges going for Kaczmarska, 2 going for Stonkuta. There's a good right hand there from Stonkuta, just whipped over the top of a little bit of a lazy jab. Kaczmarska into the territory she wants to be there, but Stonkuta just taking her feet back, just backing up. Good right hand there from her, and then goes to the body herself. And those kind of exchanges, which in the first round I felt the pole was getting slightly the better of, I think this time around it's a Lithuanian. Final minute of round 2. Nice combination there from Stonkuta, and again a good left hand. But she's throwing those 2-3 punch combinations and then looking to, as I said, just re-establish that distance between the two of them, rather than staying in there and then coming off second best. Punch output from both of these two has been high. I've mentioned on occasion the hot conditions. That won't be anything particularly new to a lot of these fighters, but the World Youth Championships, for example, back in Poland in April was indoors. It was literally freezing most of the time when we were there. Not inside the arena, but it was nothing like this. It was nothing like this. Various tournaments going on Europe-wide, worldwide over the last 2 or 3 months. The calendar's been busy, but you won't have had many conditions more demanding than these. I would bet some money on that. From where I was sitting, Stonkuta had the better of that second round. I would have it 1 apiece going into the third and final round on my card. Let's wait and see what the judges have done with round 2. They went 3-2 in favour of Kaczmarska at the end of round 1. And they've all gone for Stonkuta there. So she's got a 2-point lead with 2 of the judges. The other 3 scores are 19-19. So Kaczmarska, the equation for her is simple. She needs to turn all of those 19-19s her way. Stonkuta needs 1 of them. Kaczmarska has got to come out aggressive here, but she can't be too gung-ho. She's got to think about this. She needs to try and really drive Stonkuta back, which she does there very effectively. Referee saying that the punch was a little bit low. Looks okay to me. But just wandering in a little bit there. She's got to take her feet with her. The key for Kaczmarska is getting close enough to land. And as I say, she's got to get those feet close if she's going to land. Just throwing from the outside and falling in after it, that's not going to work. Nice body work there from Kaczmarska. Stonkuta, she still needs 1 of those level cards, remember. She can't afford to drift through this final round, and she's not going to. A good couple of left hands there from Stonkuta. But she just stays in the pocket there when she doesn't really need to. Not necessarily losing that exchange, but Kaczmarska will want it there. That's exactly where she'll want it, where it is now. Looking to try and push Stonkuta back towards the ropes. Good work rate this from the pole. Left to the body. Stonkuta's got to try and re-establish that distance between the 2 of them, which she did do in that second round. Body punching again, followed by right hand there from Kaczmarska, and Stonkuta is under severe pressure here. It's not that she isn't landing with the odd shot, she absolutely is, but Kaczmarska is throwing the heavier volume and having the better overall success, I would say. So into the final minute. Kaczmarska has just got to keep the heat on here, got to keep the pressure on Stonkuta, who winds up with a big right uppercut, didn't really land it. I remind you of that equation. Stonkuta's got 2 of the cards essentially, because she was 20 points to 18 up heading into the third and final round, and there's no way that Kaczmarska has won this round 10-8, so she's got those 2. The other 3 were 19-19. She needs to get 1 of them, and she's won. Kaczmarska needs all 3 of them. Good bit of work there from Stonkuta. And Kaczmarska has just run out of gas a bit in this final minute, and it's one of those rounds where I would say that she won the first 2 minutes and Stonkuta has maybe won this final minute. Good short right hand there from Stonkuta into the final few seconds. So you've got to make Stonkuta the favourite there to have taken at least 1 of those 3 drawn cards. Kaczmarska needs all of them. I don't think she's going to manage to achieve that. I wouldn't say there was a clear winner in that final round either way, to be honest. Stonkuta's good finish could have about levelled it up. It was a difficult one to pick.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner by unanimous decision in the blue corner, representing...
So Stonkuta gets it, and she got it with 4 of the 5 judges in that third and final round. Unanimous decision, so 2 rounds to 1 with 4 of them, and 3 rounds to 0 with the other one. And that's a good performance because she was up against it after that first round, but she got it with 2 of the judges. I felt that was a Kaczmarska round, that first round. The second round, definitely a Stonkuta round. The third round, not much in it at all. But on balance, Stonkuta taking it. I don't have any argument with it. And she will face Shamanova in the final. So now we go through to the heavyweight division, and our first semi-finalist, Daria Cosrez, who I was talking about a moment ago, having seen her in the World Youth Championships in Kielce a couple of months ago. Good 1-2. Cosrez keeps it pretty simple. She's the number 1 seed, 19 years old. Lost to Pathan in that final. As I said, they got 7 gold medals in the women's in the World Youth Championships. India, absolutely extraordinary stuff. Former bronze medalist at the European Youths in 2019, and a gold medalist in the European Youths last year.
Into the red corner, please welcome the boxer representing Moldova, Cosrez Daria.
Daria Cosrez, that's what I've just been talking about.
Into the blue corner, please welcome the boxer representing Ukraine, Lovchinska Maria. Referee Zajac Martin from Slovakia. Judge 1 from Israel. Judge 2 from Poland. Judge 3 from Czech Republic. Judge 4 from Hungary. Judge 5 from Lithuania. Fighting out of the red corner from Moldova, Cosrez Daria. Across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner from Ukraine, Lovchinska Maria.
This is Cosrez's first fight she got a bye in the previous round. Lovchinska beat Rekha Hoffman of Hungary by unanimous decision. She boxed at the 2018 World Youths, Lovchinska, so does have experience. Cosrez, Moldova in the red, just having those gloves checked, that head guard checked, the gum shield checked. And over in the blue corner there, Maria Lovchinska of Ukraine. This is the first semi-final in the heavyweight division. 81 kilos plus being the heavyweight division in women's boxing.
Round 1.
So into the first. Cosrez looking for that jab. As I said previously, she looks to keep things simple. It's a 1-2 that she looks for, trying to move ahead. She knows that Lovchinska has got the height and the reach on her. Fighters generally do. That's a common problem for her. Lovchinska needs to get some snap in that jab in her own 1-2 to keep Cosrez on the outside. Because if she can get those feet close enough, Cosrez, then that 1-2 that she throws can be quite damaging. And she's got good work rate with it too. Just pulling off that right hand a bit there, Cosrez. Lovchinska meandering after her hands a bit there. She doesn't want the weight to come forward and make that mistake to fall in behind her right hand, because that could be problematic for her. She does lean in a bit, Lovchinska. The weight's quite heavily on that front foot. Not much been landed through the first minute. Right hand on the inside there from Lovchinska as Cosrez was coming forward. You could see her moving that head. She's concentrating on that head movement. The problem she had in that World Youth final against Pathan was that Pathan caught her on the way in. She was a little bit static. There's a long 1-2 there from Lovchinska, but again, that balance kind of goes. She does have a real reach on it. Again, leaning into a right-hand lead, and the weight comes forward. Throws the right hand there, then just rolls out to the right. Cosrez not really shooting that backhand through straight, just pulling off that right hand a bit. It's a tight round, this. Looking for the uppercut there, Lovchinska. Didn't land it. Final few seconds. Cosrez has been the one on the prowl, if you like, taking the centre of the ring and being the more proactive of the two. Lovchinska is mainly boxed off the back foot, but what you're looking for is effective punching first and foremost. That is what counts. All the other stuff really is a secondary criteria, and it's not the easiest job in the world to separate those two on the basis of clean, effective punching in that opening round. There just wasn't too much of it. There was plenty of industry, plenty of effort, but not all that much clean got through. Well, there are the scores, and Lovchinska gets it with 4 out of the 5 judges. As I said, not a great deal to choose between the two. Lovchinska maybe did just land that little bit more. There was nothing of any great weight, but in EUBC boxing, there is less emphasis, it's fair to say, on how hard you hit the target than there is in professional boxing, and a bit more emphasis on hitting that target. Decent jab there from Lovchinska. Cosrez has got to work out a method of getting those feet close and getting into range for that 1-2. Did better with it there. Nice right hand on the inside from Cosrez. Lovchinska, I don't think, really has the power to bother her unduly, so if it's a case of needing to kind of walk through her to get into range, then I think that's what she'll have to do. Decent looking right hand again there from Cosrez, and signs are that maybe that is what she's going to try and do in this second round. Moldovan corner absolutely screaming at Cosrez. Decent lead left hand there from Lovchinska. Stepped in there, Cosrez, made contact with the jab, right hand, but then Lovchinska just closes in, grabs hold, does a little bit of wrestling. And with these bigger fighters with that greater body mass to carry around, these conditions could be even more difficult for them. Reaching for that long right hand there, Cosrez. Lovchinska steps into a good-looking jab. Lovely uppercut on the inside there from Lovchinska. Cosrez just not quite able to get into range for that 1-2. Lovchinska, give her credit though, she just shifted her feet back a little bit there. Slight step off, and that gave her the leverage and the room for the uppercut, and landed again there. That's 2 or 3 times that's got through in the last 10-15 seconds, and she's hit on something there. I think she feels that Cosrez is losing her shape, losing her balance as she comes forward, and when she does come forward, if she just takes that little half step, she can find that uppercut. And Cosrez, for the first time really there, just backing up. She's got something to think about here. She can't just come forward throwing that 1-2. And looking for that right hand there, Lovchinska went over the top with it that time after she previously, again, went in search of the uppercut. Left hand to the body from Lovchinska, who's mixing things up. Lead right uppercut there, just shoveled it up from the waist, and this has been a real good round for her. The second half of the round particularly. Well on top. Bell goes to the end of round 2. And a round in the books for the Ukrainian now, who took it on 4 of the 5 cards in round 1. So this will see her open up a what would look to be an unassailable lead with 4 out of the 5 judges you would expect. So Lovchinska, as expected, sweeping the board there, so she has that 20-18 lead with 4 of our 5 judges, level with the Polish judge, and Lovchinska just needs to keep doing what she's been doing, doesn't need to search for anything major here. Cosrez very much does. That might, I think, in the last 3 minutes leave her quite open, quite vulnerable. Good right hand there from Lovchinska, who's really kind of grown into this fight. The first round she was maybe slightly circumspect and there wasn't much in it, but that second round that we've just seen, she won that comfortably. Cosrez just hasn't been able to get those feet quite close enough to use that 1-2 to good effect, and there again was the uppercut. That's something that she landed regularly in that second round, and you watch fighters kind of think their way through contests. Lovchinska switching southpaw there, and that was a formula she hit on in the second round. Just a little half step back, catching Cosrez with that weight coming forward on the way in, and just caught her clean with it 2 or 3 times. Just rolling out to the right hand side there, Lovchinska, without throwing. Midway through the third and final round, 1-2 there from Lovchinska. Cosrez still working hard all the way through here, trying to make something happen. Cosrez labouring a bit with that right hand there. As I said, still putting maximum effort into this, and has worked hard in this third and final round, as she has done throughout the whole fight. But the cleaner punching again is coming from Lovchinska, who again there just fires off a good combination. Nice variety. There was an uppercut in there, a right hook. And there's that right hand, there's that right uppercut. She's catching Cosrez with that almost every time she throws it. Just dabs with the right hand lead there, Lovchinska. She's got good movement for a heavyweight. Decent reflexes. As I said, that weight is maybe a little bit too heavily on that front foot. Just takes a little walk towards the end. There goes the bell. Lovchinska's got it, and she knows she has. She will go through to the final. Cosrez will have to be happy with a bronze medal at the European Under-22s to add to the silver at the World Youth Championships she won a couple of months ago, and that is a seriously good haul in 2021 so far for her.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner by unanimous decision in the blue corner, representing
so Lovchinska gets it, and won every round but one on the judges' scorecards. 4 scores of 30 points to 27, 1 of 29 to 28. The first round was close First round was close. Rounds 2 and 3, not so much. And Lovchinska, a good fighter to watch. Cosrez put everything into that. But then Lovchinska had an opponent who just knew a little bit too much. That's the phrase you often hear in that kind of situation. She had the answers, made the adjustments. And she will now fight the winner of our second semi-final at heavyweight between Maria Shishmareva of Russia and Olivia Toborek of Poland, the number 2 seed, another fighter who was in operation at that World Youth Championships who won a bronze medal. Shishmareva won by first round stoppage against Petronela Sintra of Romania in her previous fight, RSC. Round 1 after 1 minute and 59 seconds. Toborek got a bye, so Shishmareva
Ring B.
has been in action already in
Bout
Rosetto.
number 225. Into the red corner, please welcome the boxer representing Russia, Shishmareva Maria. Into the blue corner, please welcome the boxer representing Poland, Toborek Olivia. Referee Perry Philip from Wales. Judge 1 from Moldova. Judge 2 from France. Judge 3 from Bulgaria. Judge 4 from Serbia. Judge 5 from Italy. Into the red corner from Russia, Shishmareva Maria. Into the blue corner from Poland, Toborek Olivia.
So final checks, this is the last fight of the session, of the afternoon session in Ring B. Here at the Lido d'Abruzzo in Rosetto. Maria Shishmareva of Russia. In the red corner, 2013 World Junior Champion, has been in international competition for a long time. Toborek of Poland, the number 2 seed, bronze at the World Youths in Kielce earlier this year, 2020 National Youth Champion. And Lovchinska of Ukraine awaits in the final.
Round 1.
And I think we could see the kind of fight we're going to get here. Shishmareva is the taller of the two. Stands up pretty tall, pretty straight. Looks to try and use that lead hand. Toborek will kind of swagger in, try and move that head on the way in, get closer and let her hands go. She is a good fighter to watch. And I think this is going to be a good fight to watch, actually. Always looks like she's about to throw that lead left hand, Shishmareva. Just kind of stutters with it, just keeps it moving. Doesn't pull the trigger on it all that much, but if you're up against her, it looks like she's going to. Nice little jab to the chest there for Toborek, who's giving away some serious size here. And there she does throw the jab. Nice quick jab it was as well, but short from Shishmareva. Looks to lead off with the right hand, found the right hand. Toborek's got good feet. You notice the difference, the distance rather between the feet is always pretty much the same. Wherever her lead foot goes, her back foot goes with it. There's a jab from Shishmareva. That's what she needs. Gloves up high there from Toborek, who's in distance there, but doesn't let her hands go, does eventually. And Shishmareva was was ready for it heading into the final minute of round one. Not been much in this so far. Looking for the uppercut on the inside there, Shishmareva didn't manage to land it. And Toporek just catching a right hand and a left as she came in there. Shishmareva's just beginning to pick her off a little bit as she comes forward, which is a slightly ominous sign. She's got to make sure she moves that head, which she doesn't really do. Jab again there from Shishmareva as Toporek just looked to get into range and throw that right hand. Generally that's what she's looking for, but she needs to use some lateral movement. Shishmareva with a nice short right hand there, just feinted with the jab, then threw a longer right hand that time, showing some good variety here, the Russian fighter. She's not actually quite what you'd expect from someone of her physical dimensions. Good right hand there again, kind of screw shot uppercut that just caught Toporek on her way in. Shishmareva doesn't jab nearly as much as you think she would for someone of her size, and particularly the way she's set up, it looks like she's about to throw it at any second. But she's got some other weapons in her arsenal, that's for sure. I made that a good round for her, the Russian, that opening round. Ten nines across the board for Maria Shishmareva. So she's got her nose in front. Good start for her in round one. Toporek has got to move her head on the way in. Maybe drop her height a little bit, but she's got to employ that lateral movement. Bob and weave, try and get onto the inside where she needs to be. Shishmareva looks competent, to say the least, at that range too, but she's not going to win the fight from the outside. And just teeing up that right hand there, Shishmareva, just prodding with the jab in kind of Klitschko-esque fashion almost, then finding the right hand. Through the right hand there again, turned it over well too. The jab didn't quite get there, but it gauged the distance, let the right hand go, looking for the right hand on the inside. Minute into round two, and more of the same really that we saw in the first round. Toporek just using the elbow a bit there, the forearm. She's got to try something, because she's just walking onto punches here. She's not looked hurt at any stage, but at the very start of the fight, it looked like she might be able to close that distance quite effectively. Maybe caught Shishmareva a little bit cold. But since then, it's been a difficult thing to do. Midway point of the contest. Right hand from Toporek fell just short. Walks onto a stiff left hand there, Toporek. Just using that high guard to try to get up close that time. Toporek into the final minute. Working hard here. And there's that left hand again from Shishmareva, whose punch completion ratio would be pretty high in this fight, I would say. She's thrown quite sparingly, particularly in this second round, but has still got through with plenty. Good 1-2 again there from Shishmareva. It's the right hand that lands more solid. The jab sometimes will just touch, as I said, find the range, the distance, but the right hand will be a touch heavier. Lead right hand there from Shishmareva was a good shot. Toporek was rolling forward that round on the front foot. Shishmareva, though, did the more effective punching again. One more round to go in this afternoon session in Ring B here in Roseto in the European under-22s. And 10 lines again all across the board, so Shishmareva is all but there, 20 points to 18 with all 5 judges, so Toborek has got to produce a massive round here, or Shishmareva has got to somehow get herself a point deducted really for the poll to have any chance of progressing to the final, having won a bronze at the World Youth. If she doesn't get to the final, she'll still add a bronze here, which is a very good return. She's very young, of course, well underneath the under-22 age bracket. She can box in this a few more times yet. Nice right hand there from Shishmareva. Toborek just following Shishmareva around a little bit there, kind of wandered into range, and Shishmareva just let the right hand go. Good jab there from the Russian as she was giving ground, jabbing off the back foot, was meeting Toborek solidly enough just to knock her back, cause her to reorganise and go again. .80 seconds to go in this 10th and final fight of the afternoon session here on day 6 of the European Under-22 Championships. Toborek with a left hand to the body. She just found it difficult to have too much of an effect on Shishmareva. Left hand there though got through. Her most promising spell was the first 20 seconds or so, 30 seconds of the fight. And since then, it's been difficult for her. She stuck to the task well. She's in with a real good operator here. So final few seconds as we head up to the bell. There it goes. And Maria Shishmareva will be the fighter who goes through to face Maria Lovchinska in the final. It'll be Russia up against Ukraine. And the number 2 seed. The top 2 seeds have both gone out in the semi-finals. Daria Cosrez was beaten by Lovchinska. She was the number 1 seed. The number 2 seed, Olivia Toborek. She has been beaten by Maria Shishmareva.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner by unanimous decision, red corner, representing Russia.
So Shishmareva gets it, and the final round going there to Toborek with the Moldovan judge. Everybody else goes for Shishmareva, so 4 scores of 30 points to 27, or 3 rounds to 0, 1 of 29 to 28, or 2 rounds to 1, and through she goes to that final against Lovchinska. So that wraps it up for the afternoon session in Ring B. Been a really, really good session. Once again, seen some Some terrific fights, and we'll be back with 10 more in just over 20 minutes time. So please do join us for that.